Okay, I'm about to do a mukbang. I've been wanting to do this for a minute. I'm gonna do it with Krystals. I've been craving Krystals in the last little while, so I might talk on it real quick. But it's gonna be like I said, it's my first time doing it. Doing my hand sanitizer, which I'm at home, but sometimes you just like being outside, and I just pulled up. So anyway, I'm gonna tear this bag open, do some stuff like my granny taught me how to do, cause this bag ain't gonna be needed anyway. I got me a little small, little special, and just something to snack on right now. I'm trying to do good on getting my appetite up. So when I get to the point, like, I realize it's a difference between your taste buds, your mind, and your actual stomach. Nobody ever explained that to me. Like, you can be hungry in your stomach, but if your mouth is not feeling it, like your appetite, to me, I think your appetite really comes through your taste buds. So if your taste buds, sometimes I have to eat candy, sometimes I have to just snack on something just to keep my appetite going. So anyway, like I said, this special is with 3 Krystals, a fry, and a drink. And I got me some sweet tea. And love me some sweet tea. So anyway, I started learning to eat your fries first, or as much of them. If you got a big amount of fries, you eat them pretty, eat most of the fries. That'll get you started getting full anyway if you're hungry. And I've been messing around looking at lives and wanting to go get something and get stuck on looking at these doggone lives, especially at night. I'll come in and I'll be like, okay, it ain't gonna take me much to get back out, get in the car, and go around the corner and get me something to eat. Yeah, but that's one thing that's changing. It takes me a lot sometimes to get back out. So anyway, for those that don't know about Krystals, because what I realize is everybody don't have Krystals, or they don't have these kind of burgers. It's 2 different places that has Krystals. Well, 2 different places that have these kind of hamburgers that I know of, other than like a more private owned restaurant. It's because I know Nina Boy did one, I think, yesterday. That's what made me think, well, I'm about to eat some Krystals anyway. Let me go ahead and motivate myself to start making these food videos. And just like one of the guys that I subscribe to, and he watches my videos, and I go to his live sometime, and he comes to my channel. He was like, oh, he just now posted a video, Mike's channel. He's the Mike's fishing channel. And he was saying that the food videos is what gets you recommended a lot through YouTube, which I was surprised to hear, because I just thought it came from off of other people, sharing your video out, doing stuff like that, and your subscribers, or either going off of the short videos, the shorts, trending, whatever. But it's good to come across different information. And he actually posted his actual analytic screen on his page at that time. So anyway, I'm going to try to start doing more food, doing food videos and of that nature. Because there's some other things that I was trying to, here we go. It was some other things that I was wanting to dip over into, but you get kind of used to and accustomed to doing things. Hold on. You get kind of comfortable on doing certain things. And then once you get comfortable, it's like, okay, it's kind of hard to pull yourself up out of that mode to whether it be like, okay, I'm going to move over here to do what I said I was going to do. I ain't going to lie, y'all. I love me some damn Krystals. But at the same time, I hadn't had them in a long time, and that's why I was kind of getting a craving for them. Cause see, when I did, one of my first jobs was working at Krystals when I was a teenager. So for any of those that don't know, they cook a whole batch of Krystals, and most likely I've never been in the back of a oh gosh, what did I call it? I'll think of it in a minute. White Castle. I think I might have went to a White Castle's before that I can't remember. But anyway, I've never been into the back of one in the kitchen. Cause everybody don't have White Castle. There's a couple of places. I know at least one place that has a Krystals and a White Castle's, which I know that's got to be hellified. I know some places, like I know for sure, places like Michigan, they have White Castles. I can't think of some of the other states that I'm not used to. But I just found out the other day that California doesn't have White Castles, and I know they didn't have Krystals most likely. But anyway, working in Krystals, they make up, like, I think it's 24 if I remember right. It's 24 that you can put on a whole grill at one time, and you got to get used to making up a batch, because you might have somebody to come in there and order 24 Krystals at one time. So really, that's already one batch gone at one time. You might have somebody that come in there and just order 2 or 3 Krystals, 4 or 5. You don't know. And then the thing about it, that's just one. That could be one person, one family. But you might have 2 or 3 people, 5 or 6 people with one family. So the thing about it is, when you run a drive-through, you might have a whole backed up drive-through backed up. The whole drive-through might be backed up, and you'd have no idea how many Krystals is gonna come out of you being backed up like that. Because one thing you gotta realize, when you working at a place like that, that the burgers are so small. It's not like a hamburger, a Big Mac, or Krystals burger. I mean a Wendy's burger or anything like that. And they do sell burgers like that too, or sandwiches. But the thing is, like I said, whoever's in the back, they gotta. But that, I ain't gonna lie, that was the best time, because I did actually, even as young as I was, I did actually have to work. I ended up learning how to work on the grill, because when you work in a place like that, you do kind of want to learn how to run the grill. But sometimes see, back then we was in old school mode even as teenagers, so we could do that shit with no problem. But they still didn't want us to do certain things unless you had been somewhere for a minute. Like my daughter, to be honest, my daughter ended up working at Krystals, which I didn't even really tell her at the time that I had worked at Krystals. I kind of just let it go on and flow through. But I ain't gonna lie, she worked there for about 2 years. She was still in school when she first started working, and I told her, as long as she keep her grades up, hey, you good. But the thing about it, you get in there, sometimes that'd be the best time when you had to Get them patties on the grill. You have to put the onions on them while they on the grill. And the main way they come is just onions and mustard and pickle. And so you have that grill going, all them little, and they thin anyway, so it's not gonna take them long to cook. And then you put the bread on the top of them while they still on there, so that bread can get that steam coming up. And like I said, when you backed up, you got that little salt and pepper mix that you shake on it, the seasoning. But Krystals been around way before I came on this earth. So, but my grandmama, when I was younger, they didn't really go to Krystals. I ain't never really hear them talk about it. But as I got older, she might say, "Oh, I wouldn't mind having me a good old Krystal." Or when my daughter was working there, for sure, she was ready to eat them Krystals. But yeah, it's different from when you cooking them little square hamburgers. Now, like I said, you might have one person that can eat a whole. You never know how somebody's appetite might be. They might be able to eat 12 Krystals by their damn self. And if it's more than them coming through, like I said, the rotation is real. It can get hectic. But if you know what you're doing, that's why I say, when you start doing this stuff when you're young, you learn early how to get in and get at it, and don't be, procrastinating. Like I said, you gotta have a good teamwork. You gotta have good teamwork, and that's the place that I learned how to count backwards, because we used to have to work on the drive-through, and the drive-through didn't have a regular register, so you had to learn how to count backwards, and I thank God for that, because they really didn't teach us how to count backwards in school. And what I mean, for somebody that might not understand about count backwards, is whatever the total is, you count from there back to whatever they gave you. If your total was $4 and something, even the count back would change. See, you gotta know how to count back with change, and you have to know how to count back with dollars. And I know people talking about, oh, we about to not have money soon. Okay, you can keep on thinking that. And even if it do happen, every time they turn around and they slow down on money, that's what they want the most. Oh, we need change. Y'all got any change to spare? So anyway, so you count back with change and with dollars, and that gets your mind clicking in real good. To be honest, to me, I would have thought that they would have taught us that in school. Cause getting on the drive-through, I always have flashbacks about that. You get on the drive-through, you like, dang, I'm gonna have to know how to count back and get these people they change. And like I said, if the drive-through is backed up, you get nervous. Even if people can't tell, you get nervous. So anyway, like I said, I learned that through working at Krystals. So anyway, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of mad. That's why I'm glad I got some French fries left. I only got one Krystals left. I brought the 3 Krystals, the fry, and the drink. But see, like I said, that's why when you having a problem with your appetite, you have to work with what you can work with. You can have all kind of food, but if you don't have a taste for the doggone food, this shit ain't gonna make no difference. And that's why some people be like, oh, well, you got this. Oh, well, you can do that. Oh, why don't you go home and cook? I can cook all the hell I want to. But, and I'll give it to somebody else and be like, here, I don't cook this. You can, I ain't even want it. That's what people don't understand. And I'm going to be real with you. Dealing with different situations, people might think, well, why are you having a problem with your appetite? Because, hell, people be going through shit. Now, some people is the opposite. Let me say it like this. For a person that really don't understand what it's like to have a problem with your appetite, well, just flip it around to where you have a problem with eating too much food. See, most people can understand that, but it's the total opposite. Just like you have to be like, damn, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And you just keep on eating. Because I was talking to a dude the other day that I've been knowing for a long time. Hadn't seen him in years. He had a car wreck. And it must have been a bad car wreck because we didn't fully get into the full conversation of him breaking it down. Because what struck off the real conversation is he said, I ain't supposed to be walking. And I was like, what? So that's when he started talking about the car wreck. And he already was a slim built dude. And he was telling me, he said, he already had told me that he was 6'6". And I'm thinking, he might be 6'6". But I would have thought 6'6" would have been taller than that. Because I be around tall people all the time, including my children. And I don't know if I just done got used to everybody being tall. Like if I'm not looking like way up at you, then that's not gonna feel like you 6'4", 5, 6, or 7, or whatever. But and then I done seen some people walking. And I done got off topic. But anyway, I'm gonna come back. I done seen some people walking. I can tell they taller than the average 6'2" and 6'3" and all of that. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Dude is he always was pretty slim, which by now he could have been one of those type people that his weight had done balanced out. But I guess if his weight had balanced out and he done gained weight, because like I said, I hadn't seen him in some years. Like the last time I saw him briefly, and when I think about it, he probably wasn't that much thicker than he is now. So anyway, he was like, my weight, I need to get some weight, get my weight up, because he said I weigh like 189. And for his height, that's not a lot. But at the same time, I got 2 children that they both about the same height. It ain't that much big of a difference. It might be half an inch, 1 inch, something like that. One of them is on the thicker side, and one of them is on the slimmer side. So the one that's on the slimmer side, he's still under 200 pounds. And so, even though he probably need to gain a few pounds, I also remember when my other son was on the thicker side, I mean on the thinner side, but he didn't, yeah, he did look thinner than he look now. But it's like you can still be kind of tall, but you don't have to be bony or looking sickly. So anyway, dude must be having, his metabolism must be high, which that's kind of what I go through now too. But his metabolism is probably high and probably always been high, because I kind of remember how his family is, because I used to work with his sister. And when I say they just like, they was brought up just like I was, because they come from that era anyway. Like he's younger than us, but he's just a few years younger than we are. But we was brought up where we would cook more at home than anything. It's been a time where people didn't go out and eat like every day or so many times a week. That probably lasted maybe every so many weeks or maybe once a month, if that, because I can't remember how often it was. But my grandma might say, we might have been riding with my granddaddy coming from the store. She'd be like, ooh, I feel like a good old hamburger. And I'd be so glad to I'd be so glad to hear her say, I feel like a good old hamburger. Or she might say, I feel like a good old ice cream cone. So my grandmama, she didn't say that too often. So anyway, what my point was, is they cooked at home, real, I mean, all the time. Breakfast, between breakfast, whether it be you going to school, because I know even when I was at school, I know for sure that it wasn't nothing to make a sandwich or a salad, or let me say this, I don't know about everybody else, but people be acting like leftovers is like the worst in the world. Them leftovers be the shit sometimes, because like I said, if you cook a decent amount of food, you're going to have some leftovers unless you got some heavy eating greedy people. And I know how that can be, because my oldest son, the one that's on the thicker side, but he always had a good appetite. When he was like under 10 years old, I know for sure he was about 8. I used to have to let him eat two plates. So he was always going to be an eater. Now my other son is kind of like me. Now my daughter, I forgot about my daughter as far as eating. I mean, when she was little, I'm talking about a toddler, she could eat so much food. I was like, even my grandmama was like, dang, she can really eat. I'm talking about like when we would be at a restaurant that was like a buffet, you let her eat, she could drink and eat at the same time. When I was little, I could not drink and eat at the same time whatsoever. My grandma used to say, okay, you can go ahead and drink, because she used to say, and I know a lot of people know, when you start eating your food, dinner, whatever, they tell you not to drink your drink. When really they say it's not good for you to drink and eat at the same time anyway. But she didn't play with that, so she knew my appetite. Now, if I was one of them children that could eat and drink at the same time, she wouldn't have cared. But she was like, okay, you can do all that drinking if you want to, or snacking before dinner comes, but you know you're gonna eat all your food. So, but anyway, just like I said, you got some people, and that the dude that I was talking about, he even said, I don't eat a whole lot of fast food. Well, I do remember when me and his sister was working together, that's when I learned how his mama was. Home cooked food. Because by then, people started pulling away from that. That was probably in the 90s. People started pulling away from that. So for somebody to still be cooking at home on a regular basis, not just I forgot. Some people like to eat on, that Sunday dinner. Now I'm going to tell y'all real quick. I could have slammed these doggone Krystals down real quick, French fries. It was already taking me a whole lot to say, are you going to motivate yourself to do this video right now while you got this food? And I had a couple of fries. I was eating on a couple of fries, but I didn't eat the Krystals. But I said, okay, you're going to either do it or not. But so, I could have thrown these Krystals. They could have been gone. Which I guess is kind of good that I made this video. I said I didn't want to just throw the food in my mouth in. Because my grandmama said that too. She used to get on me telling me, you don't chew your food up. And I think that's why I probably got digestive problems. That probably stem from that. Because I ain't never been a person to truly eat food to live. I mean how do it go? You eat to live or live to eat. I never was a live to eat person. There's some people out here, they live to eat. But that goes back to what I was saying. When you deal with a loss of appetite and you trying to work on it, it's just like a person that can't control how they eat as far as how much they eat. Sometimes you have to make yourself eat. I'm talking like, if I could go without eating I would sometimes. They say it's good to fast anyway, but I'm talking about what I was talking about earlier. My taste buds don't kick in. Sometimes I eat chocolate or some type of sweet just to kick in my appetite, my taste buds to be like, okay. It kind of keep them going instead of making them dead. And when I say by dead is, you sit around, like I'm a drinker. And when I say drink, I'm talking about like this right here. I ain't talking about no damn alcohol, because I know some people be ready. That. No, I'm talking about regular drink. I can drink juices. Like, ooh, back in the day, because I had got back on that Kool-Aid. I can kill some Kool-Aid. But see, I ain't really been drinking sodas lately. But I have been drinking some of the ginger drinks. And what else have I been drinking? For the most part. I've been drinking that cranberry juice and stuff like that. But I'm talking about something that's got that carbonation to it. But anyway, so just like I was explaining, a person that has a problem with not having a good appetite is just like somebody, the opposite of somebody that can't control their eating. But like I said, one thing people can realize is the reason why I brought dude up earlier is because he one of them type people that his stomach, because I kind of remember how he probably was back in the day. And just like my son can be like that too, my oldest son. It's like they got a bottomless pit. Because they can eat, my son can eat one of them plates, like my hand is the plate. His plate can be piled up. And he can eat one plate and still work on another. But my grandmama, my granddaddy used to be like that too. My grandmama, shout out like she ain't remember. My grandmama them used to eat 2 plates of food every time we sit down. But now, I can see how that comes about. I ain't gonna lie. My son that's on the slimmer side, he kind of like me. He said it one day. I had to figure it out one day. My dog and stuff, and it ain't been that long ago. I'll be like, I get tired of chewing, don't want to eat no more. I'm like, I'm tired of eating. But then I realized that my stomach wasn't full. So he said it one day. He said, I ain't gonna lie, I get tired of eating. I said, oh, I know what you're talking about. See, that's how me and my children can start off a conversation. Because they'll say something, now that they've gotten older, they'll say something to trigger a conversation. And that's how we get the whole conversation going. Because some of the stuff that you might end up talking to them about, you might not have really talked to an adult or grown up or a person your age about that kind of stuff. So yeah, you be like, I really ain't want to eat. And so then you start realizing, and the reason why I was talking about it and elaborated on it is because you realize that you don't want to keep eating, but your stomach ain't full. So that's why I say, somebody might say, oh, she tripping, she talking crazy, whatever you can say whatever you want to, but I know what the hell I'm talking about, because my mouth cannot want to eat. And so you would think that I wasn't hungry, but my stomach might be growling. And that's why I say I have to, see, I didn't used to even think about it like that. You have to wake up your taste buds. My taste buds will not be, it'll be like a dormant, and you don't want to eat. So anyway, that's one thing I have to get on my son that's a little on the slimmer side, is because I know he can be like me, where he might not want to eat, the appetite might not be there, just like the other, he'll go without eating for real, and I'll be getting on it. And see, sometimes you have to take supplements and vitamins to offset that. Well, like I said, I eat chocolate sometimes. But anyway, all right, I done got a little bit of conversation out. That was my first time that I did what you want to call a mukbang, whatever y'all call it. But I'm going to look it up just to make sure And I'm not no huge eater, so I'm not going to be sitting here eating no whole lot of crab legs and stuff in my mouth, because I'm the type that I will eat, especially in a restaurant. I'll eat because I might not want to leave no food. And I'll be so doggone tight and uncomfortable. And sometimes you don't feel like being like that, because that stuff can last for an hour or two. You be driving a car, riding in the car, having other things to do. And you like, dang, I'm so uncomfortable. So anyway, I'm going to end that video. I did it for the first time. I don't know what kind of other things I'll be trying to do as far as those type of videos. But like I said, I just wanted to get one in. Alright, it was good too. I might have to go get some more today.